Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, we're back.
We're back again.
We're back again.
We're back again. I was looking through my phone thinking, damn, that looks
He
so...
was looking at some nasty pictures. I'll
No,
tell you
no,
this.
no. I was looking at pictures of me and Mike, actually, for today's
Like
session.
I said, some nasty pictures.
No, not nasty pictures. No, they were good pictures.
Jeffrey's going to be sending pictures over to him today.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The footage we got today was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The lighting. I tell you what, you know, since I've been in California, we've been training at Gold's. And Mike said to me, oh, we've got to go to Powerhouse Gym. And I said, why? He goes, listen to me. The lighting in there is just phenomenal. And it was completely amazing. The guy that owns it, Dave, I want to say a big thank you to him anyway. He was such a friendly guy.
Dave Fisher, thank you.
Dave Fisher, he was such a friendly guy. And he came across, said hello. Obviously, met him when we went into the gym.
I've known that boy for 30 years.
Yeah, he's awesome, awesome. And Dave, I just want to say your gym is phenomenal. You have some amazing equipment, and the lighting is just beautiful.
So, I had to do this for you guys.
Oh.
So, I would like you all to say thank you and send me donations or whatever you want to do. New shirts, shoes, whatever. Mona has the link. I love Victoria's Secret.
What?
Where am I going with this? Just kidding, guys.
What?
I had to do this. I had to show you guys this body in that lighting, and that's why I chose today, arm day, to take him down there and not only do biceps, but we got triceps right here for you guys.
Yeah, triceps, baby.
And again, I want you guys to know that, again, I shut down. I let him take control and explain everything to you. And I'm going to have him do it again just now, just in case that we have to put a lot of this over the video, because Dave does like his music and he likes it loud.
Yeah, I mean, the gym was extremely loud, so sometimes I tried my best to explain some of the stuff that we were doing. But when it comes to training triceps, again, the first exercise that I used was a rope tricep push down. Not that I'm saying the bar is bad, but I also use the bar sometimes. You go a lot heavier using the bar. But the one thing I like about the rope is it translates to a pose that I do on stage, where you're tearing.
Is it a pose or a transition?
A transition that I do on stage, where you're tearing.
I'm going to stop you. I got to stop you before this, because they're going to go, what the heck are you talking about? And so this is what's great about this.
Yeah.
Is he talks about posing transition. And the only reason I want to say this real quick, I'm sorry. And
no problem. No, not a problem.
I'm American. We interrupt. That's what we do.
It's very rude. We call it interjecting.
Interject.
Interjecting.
Mona and me call that something else. Anyway, so the thing about that is, because as I say that, and he moves from one position to another, and it's a fluid, beautiful movement. He used an exercise to make sure that his body looks in a certain way. Now that you guys go back to my stuff, is that I put myself in a position that I may not end up in, but if I do, I sure want to be strong in those positions with any kind of gladiators or games or athletic ability. If you're only training one way, and it's that proper way that they teach, and this is how you squat, don't do anything else. Anytime you kind of go off bounds, you're going to get hurt, because your body has no clue what it's doing. And so I think this is a great point that he's making here. And I hope you guys take this and you do this. Do what I did. Do what he does. Take an exercise and go, I don't care how they told me to do it. I'm going to do it the way that benefits me in my life.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think that they would have grasped that.
Yeah, I mean,
and I hope they do. Man, think that's just so key.
Any exercise that you do, the gym's a controlled environment. You know, if you're playing sport, you're in an uncontrolled environment. So you want to be able to translate what you've done in a controlled environment into an uncontrolled environment. But for me, the stage is a controlled environment. So the reason I use the rope is...
if you and Miro both on stage, I'd either bump you or I'd fall off.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you've only fallen off, not bump me, because I would just be spreading my lats, spreading my elbows, you know.
You guys wouldn't see me on stage.
Yeah, that's
if I was up next to he'd cover me.
You know, so going back to what I was saying in regards to the transition is, when you're doing a tricep push down, it's important that you take a couple of things into consideration. One is positioning your body. Positioning your body is very important. A lot of people, you don't want to be too upright in regards to the way you stand. You want to have a little bit of like cushioning in your knee, cushioning your hips, and slightly leaning into the exercise. Not over exaggerate leaning in with your elbows, with your shoulders over your arms, but you want to kind of lean in with your torso a little bit and still keep the elbows tight to the torso. And when you get to the bottom of the movement, you want to be splitting the rope and squeezing the triceps. So that's where the transition, when I'm moving from a side pose to a back pose, from a front pose to a side pose. So show them a back without showing your back. So it's almost like that transition where...
So this is note to Jeff right here.
Where you squeeze.
Definitely place him splitting and posing and all that stuff. And then the video from Vegas.
Yeah, the video from Vegas. What happened in Vegas? So that's the benefit of using the rope when it comes to tricep push down. Again, you can't go as heavy. And what I tend to find is I may just do, like, for example, a warm-up set and then feel, okay, I'll go a little bit heavier. And then I find a sweet spot where I can get 12 to 15 reps on, and I don't go any heavier than that. Because for me, it's about making the lightest load look as heavy as possible, and then making the heaviest load look as light as possible. But what I'm trying to say to you basically is I see a lot of people making a cynical mistake in the gym by selecting a weight that they can't control. They feel like they can control it. They're doing all of this. They're doing all of this.
Wouldn't
they're doing all of this.
Control it for 6 to 8, and then the last 4 are ugly as anything.
Then you need to drop the weight. You know, you still need to drop the weight because...
But I did 12.
Yeah, but you didn't do 12 because you've done 6 good reps and then 6 bad reps. At the end of the day, reality is that every single rep's got to be... It's like you're banking. It's money in the bank. I want $100 every single rep. $100 every single rep. I don't want $90. I don't want $80.
You said the other day, 1 looks the same as 12.
Exactly. Consistency. People talk about tempo. Exercise tempo. You know, the first rep has got to look the same as the last rep. That's your tempo right there. You know, the speed that you want to be going at is your first rep's got to look like your last rep. If you're going too slow or too fast, the speed difference should differ from the first rep to the last rep. So I hope that makes sense to you without confusing you. Because people say, oh,
they're going to come back and go, well, what is the right speed? Well, what is the right weight? Well, what is the right... That's on them.
Exactly. Medium tempo at the end of the day, but the first rep's got to look like the last rep. Medium tempo. Medium tempo, what does that mean? What does that look like? You know, you got to be like, is it 3, 2, 1? Or is it, you know, is it 4 numbers, is it 3 number? It's just a control speed. Control speed where the muscle fiber has been put under tension for at least 30 to 45 seconds. You know, control speed. That's all you want to be thinking about, control speed. So I use when I did a tricep push down, I used the rope. I love the rope. I use the rope a lot more than I use the bar. What's your thought on that? And what can you add to what I've said?
I'm okay with both. I love that we did the rope today, and I love that we started with that exercise, and I love that where it went to. But again, I'm worried. I got to tell you, I'm worried.
Why are you worried?
I'm worried that yesterday's video and today's video is going to feel so good to them that they go, this is it, I'm done. And they do this and they fall into a habit for the next 2 years.
No, forget it. This is not...
But it felt so good.
This is just an add-on. This is just an add-on to your training plan. You might want to throw in the tricep exercise on the chest day. You might want to throw in the bicep exercise on the back day.
I do want you to talk about that at the end of this video.
I will definitely talk about that at the end of the video. So, but what we're doing now is giving you some gems. These gems doesn't mean they're going to last you for the next 2 years. You know, this gem might last you for 8 to 12 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. You've got to change the body. The human body is the cleverest thing on this planet, and it's the most amazing thing on this planet. If you do the same thing for the next 2 years and expecting a different result, that's what I called insanity.
Insanity.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
That's insane, isn't it? So what we're trying to say to you is we're giving you good exercises to perform.
I think it's beyond good.
Yeah.
I think they're, and I guess I keep going back to this is because, remember, I'm 600 years old. So there's a difference for me I go in looking for uncomfortable and make them comfortable positions. Let me say it again. I go in looking for uncomfortable and make them comfortable positions. Why? Because I'm at that stage in life to where I want to make sure that I can move in every single angle and there's nothing happening. So it's kind of like the mammogram for a female. She has to check herself to make sure there's nothing happening. Now, the reason why I said that is because it's very extreme. Movement is very extreme.
Definitely.
And you're not going to know this because you squat the same way for the last 15 years. And so when I did today's workout, it was like a Sunday chocolate cake. I was eating this going, whoa, if there was an injury on my body, and I know some of you guys have injuries, you're going to go, this workout is great. I could do. Wally's workout is the workout that I do because nothing ever hurts.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm scared for them.
Yeah, no, what I'm trying to say to you is that, guys, you gotta...
Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. It makes perfect sense.
Because you and I understand this isn't your workout that you do for the last 15 years.
No.
This isn't the workout to do with it for the last 15 years.
No.
This is a great workout.
It's a great workout. But what Mike's trying to say is that you've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. At the same time, you kind of get used to one specific way of training to expect a different result. You've got to kind of change your approach every so often. So, Mike says 8 to 12 weeks. I agree with Mike completely. I wouldn't change that. 8 to 12 weeks is good enough. But if I was getting ready for a show in 12 weeks, within that 12 weeks, I may change my training program maybe once or twice. So I might start with a particular way of training, then change it again, and then change it again. Maybe once or twice in the 12-week period of time. So what I'm trying to say is that you cannot do this workout forever. It's just something, it's an add-on to whatever you're already doing, or you can just slot it in if your arms are your focused area, you can just slot it in as an extra arm day. You can do the biceps and triceps on the same day. Just slot it in as an extra workout if you want to develop your arms. So that's
he's hitting this out of the park, and I guess I was worried because of the fan base that when they do this, I'm worried about the majority of the people out there going, probably the most luscious, fun workout you're ever going to do. I mean, you watch this full video and yesterday's full video, trust me when I tell you, it's going to be hard to move away from this workout.
It is going to be hard to move away from it because it's the beauty of this workout is so simple and it's effective at the same time. So remember when we go back to saying doing minimal work for maximum effort, a maximum result, this is going to give you maximum result. But at the same time, you've got to kind of understand that this isn't something you're going to do forever. It's a beautiful exercise program, by the way, but again, it should be changed every so often.
I'm going to do this exercise program for the next 12 weeks.
Yeah,
100%. I'm not moving away from this.
Yeah.
It felt so good and loving.
It is great, but let's move on to the second exercise that we did. So we started off with a rope tricep push down. The second exercise that we did was a rope overhead extension. For me, I love this exercise. I see a lot of people doing it seated with a dumbbell or standing with a dumbbell. Not that I'm saying dumbbells are bad, but you're working, gravity is the dumbbell's going to return back towards the ground, the starting position. And what tends to happen for me when I use dumbbells, don't forget I've done both, but you can still do both, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying to you that I'm giving you an example here why, you use the rope over dumbbells, but don't write the dumbbell over extension, tricep extension, overhead tricep extension off completely. I'm just saying that when you go up through the movement and the eccentric loading phase, you're just basically, unless you really control the weight is just being controlled by gravity mostly. But when you use the cable, you got that constant tension on the tricep throughout the movement. If you watch Mike perform the exercise, and I was talking briefly through the exercise while he was performing it, you'll see what I mean. He's got, the tricep as a whole is the biggest part of the arm. A lot of people pay so much emphasis on the bicep because that's what they can see, but the triceps is the biggest part of the arm. So again, you really want to try and emphasize and pay attention to what you're doing when it comes to the tricep workout. Is there anything you can add to that?
The only thing I'd add to it is, and I agree with you 100%. Today, your arms won't get a rest. And the reason why is because he chose everything very precise of no breaks. And so when he talks about like this pressure off, like if I do a dumbbell behind the neck and I'm using a dumbbell instead of the cable, right here, it's done. There's no pressure. It's just, I can stand here and hold that for a minute and a half, where the cable is continuously pulling on you.
Yes.
And so he put this he put the whole workout. He didn't go in and go, let's do this, this, and this. There's reasons why he did this, and it goes back to yesterday's video on the preacher. If every single person that watched yesterday's video will comment today and go, that preacher, favorite exercise in the world. Agreed. And today you're gonna find out the tricep push down and the overhead. You're gonna go, wow, yeah, my triceps were on fire. I didn't do a lot, and it was just no rest. What I mean by no rest is there's no rest within the set because of how he set this up, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's again, when we talk about rest in between sets as a whole, I think you've got to take the rest that's sufficient for you as an individual. I'll always recommend 60 to 90 seconds rest in between sets, but you may need longer if necessary. But again, that's cutting into the workout as a whole when it comes to overall workout and time period it takes to complete. So I think 60 to 90 seconds is sufficient enough for the muscle fibers to recover after a specific set. What's your thought on that?
Rest period, I'm a believer in mostly off season, taking as long as you have to recover. Because again, I prefer to do as heavy as I possibly can. I want to recover. And again, I set it up that I train at 4 a.m, and I don't have to be out of the gym within an hour and a half. I'll say this, he's in and out of the gym in an hour. I'll guarantee that I'm there probably 2 hours, but work out less than him in an hour. So again, I'm doing less work, but I'm stuck there for 2 hours, where he's doing more work and is in and out in an hour. So it's just both work. But for me, I don't want to leave the gym.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And I take a lot longer rest periods, and I'm free with that. And again, I agree with him on the rest period. 90 seconds is a great number.
I love it.
90 seconds is
perfect.
just, for everybody out there that you go, hey, how much rest?
90 seconds.
90
I love 90 seconds. That's a minute and a half. That's more than sufficient.
Training partner time to get in there and do
Yeah.
it. If you train with 2 people, it gives them enough time to do it, and you're back in and doing it again.
Exactly. I think when it comes to overall, your interaction with your training partner, you do a set, he does a set, you got 30 seconds to interact, chit chat, talk about whatever you want to talk about, and then get in there. I think, it's just about being disciplined when it comes to your approach towards training. I always wear a stopwatch when I'm training, and I always
Hold on. I have my notebook next to me.
Yeah.
I make my notes every day, the night before, going, this is what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
You just said that you actually use a stopwatch, and you've been training for 30 years. And the reason why I say this is that's so amateur. Not to you and me.
No, it's not. I don't think it's amateur at all. I think it's
Why do they think it is?
Because, it's about understanding that...
I don't need to write it down.
No, you don't need to write...
I know, I got the watch, I don't need the watch. I'm past all you guys. You guys don't know anything.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, what I'm trying to say to you guys is that, for me, I can't... If I don't look at my time, I don't know how long I've been resting for. So, if I set my stopwatch for 90 seconds, I know when to go again. It's not about being amateur, it's about working... Efficiency is key. This is what I'm trying to explain, that I'm just trying to be as efficient as possible within the given time that I have in the gym. So efficiency is key. So if I'm efficient with my timekeeping whilst I'm resting and I'm not working, I'm going to move through my workout a lot smoother than I am if I'm not keeping an eye on my timekeeping. So, each to their own. You might think...
No, not each to their own. Now you're being nice.
It is.
Now you're being English.
No, but it's
you want to be nice to the Americans and everybody.
It's each to their own.
You're wrong.
No, it's...
Writing your notes down is a good thing. Having a stopwatch is a good thing. And so anybody that says that that's amateur, oh, I'm past that, I don't do that, I go off of my field, let them.
But
This guy's the world champ 3 times and he still does this. I won the universe. I still make notes.
Yeah.
There's it's minute, but there's such big things, guys.
I think what you got to realize is that the small little things that you do will separate you from the rest. And we're giving you gems here. This is what I'm saying in regards to what the information that you're getting here. You're getting gems. You're getting gems. We're dropping bombs on you. Bomb, bomb, bomb. And the information that I'm giving you, it's taken me 30 years, and also compounded on top of being with the likes of Mike, being with other people that I've trained with over the years, the likes of the Simian Panda, so many people I've trained with. I'm not going to drop any names, but what I'm trying to say to you is that the information that I have isn't just what I've learned as an individual. It's compounded on top of the information that I've gained from the individuals that I've trained with. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is that it's your approach. If you take this information away with you, it's how you use this information is totally up to you. You know, like an example or an analogy, sorry, shall I say, that I will give you is that you can go to the best university on this planet and get a first in your chosen field of what you study. But if you sit at home and do nothing with that first means nothing. You've got to be out to the world and actually utilize that first for something. So what I'm trying to say is the information that we give you, how you receive it and how you utilize it is totally up to you. But I just think, you know, I wish I knew all the things that I knew now when I was 21.
So I love these stuff and I love being around you and have you talk to these people because I respect you. And when we're talking about compound information, he learned from these people. Those people learn from other people. And so you're not getting the knowledge. I'll take an example. When I first got to California and worked out with Arnold, and he gave me pieces of advice. Well, Arnold got pieces of advice from Joe Weider and everybody else before him, Reg Parks and so on and so forth. So there's thousands of years, because when you start adding everything and compounding everything into Arnold, Arnold tested and tried and got rid of stuff, and then he gave me that information. So it's not just the information from Arnold. And so what he's doing is he got to be the 3-time world champion, create this physique, not in his 20s,
no,
but still in his 40s, where most of you 30-year-olds go, is there still time? There's still time.
There's tons of time.
There's so much knowledge. There's thousands of years of knowledge that he's done, tried, and he's given it to you in a 30-minute video.
But wait, Mike. But I read in a book that it told me that I've got to do a specific exercise and a specific rep range if I want to improve my arms.
Well, that's great. And you went and you tried it for 12 weeks. And then you measured it yourself and said, okay, that didn't do it. Did I do all the fasts? Did I eat right? Did I sleep right? Did I take the right supplementation? Did I do everything right? And I did the exercise? It did or didn't work for me. Move on. And that's all I guess we're saying here is that the mind thoughts I put on paper so I can see my thoughts.
Yeah.
He has to stop. This is minute. Again, this is so minute. This is a small little detail. But you compound that all up together.
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing for me is to pass my knowledge on because, like I always say to Mike, I said, you know, my legacy isn't going to be by my achievement. My legacy is going to be by the people that I bless. When I mean bless, help change their life, help change their way of thinking, help change their approach towards training. That's what I'm all about. You know, I want to spread my knowledge. I want to spread love towards you guys for what I love doing. You know, I love training. You know, I still feel like after 30 years stepping into the gym, I still get
12-year-old kid.
Yeah, I still get like a 12-year-old kid. And I step in the gym, it's like I'm in a candy shop. I'm like, I still get excited. I still get nervous. Like I get into the gym and I'm like in a new spot and I'm like, shit. Oh my God, this is gonna be a lot of fun. Like, you know, I'm gonna have new toys to play with. So yeah, so over a period of years that I've trained, I just want to try and give you guys some gems and just pass on the knowledge that I have. And I just think, you know, I want you guys to utilize it. I want you to message Mike or myself and say, do you know what? I really enjoy watching this video, or I really got some information out of this video, because I just think it's key because, you know, we're one human race, like Mike says, and I want to help as many people as possible and touch as many hearts as possible in my time on this planet. We're not here forever. And the most important thing is I'm a very spiritual person. So, you know, I want to try and spread love and positive energy. And because you know what comes back at you when you do that? Love and positive energy. You know, and before I forget, we're going to go through the last exercise.
Let's go.
So let's go. Last exercise that we did for triceps was laying, we call it a Z bar. So it's like a Z bar tricep extension. You know, I love this exercise, and I see a lot of people doing it wrong. They call it skull crushers. Call it whatever you want. Yeah. Laying tricep extensions, skull crushers, whatever you want to call it, you call it. But that's what it is. So for me, the most important thing when doing this exercise is, again, a lot of people get bad elbows from doing this exercise. They feel a lot of tension through their elbows from doing this exercise because the weight that you're using is too heavy or their elbow position is incorrect. What you really want to try and do is think about pointing your elbows towards the ceiling. You'll watch during the video that I did that I brought my elbows in. I started like this and I brought my elbows in and really focus on really keeping those elbows. Imagine the elbows are teasing each other and really trying to extend the arms up without locking the elbows fully, and keep that slight flexion on the elbow, and just keep thinking you're working the back of the arms, you're working the triceps. You're not working the shoulders, you're not working the chest, you're working the triceps. It's a single joint movement really. You got obviously a little bit of movement in the wrist, but not much, but it's a single joint movement. It's a very easy exercise to perform. The most important thing again is finding the right weight to use for the selected rep range that you wish to do. Is there anything you can add to that, Mike, in regards to the skull crushers?
The one thing I don't like is they say certain exercises causes injuries. And then I said this the other day, like I was doing skull crushers, like with 185, 125. And I'm always trying to make the connective tissue stronger and everything. And so definitely if you have bad elbows already, skull crushers is one of those things that just stay light and flex through it.
I agree.
But if you don't have bad elbows, understand that injuries come over a long period of time, and if you're not feeding the body correctly, of course the ligaments are going to start going, and your knees and elbows and lower back are going to start going. So it's not the exercise that's bad, it's how you're doing it or how you're living your life outside. We talked about this yesterday, is that bodybuilding is the one thing that is different than any other sport.
Yeah.
Because you don't go to play football for 2 hours and come home and you can forget it. It's not basketball. You go for a couple hours to practice and then you come home and forget it. Bodybuilding is 24 hours. How much sleep you get, how much you feed, how much you feed your internal body in the correct way.
Yeah.
So it's such a big facet that one exercise is not what sets you up with bad knees.
No.
So, and again, this workout again for everybody, no matter if you have bad elbows. By the time we got to that exercise, he warmed up his elbows and I did too so well. There's so much blood in there that the joints and everything felt so good that it felt like nothing.
Yeah, but Mike, they're gonna say, right, so why don't I not do bicep first if I want to do arms? Why don't I not do triceps first, sorry, if I want to do arms instead of doing bicep first? They might answer that question.
I think for somebody, if you're injured or have bad elbows, doing the biceps first is going to help force blood in there, and by the time you get to triceps, you can do it. You can do biceps first, you can do triceps first, in my opinion, but I think to the last couple days, and this workout is just a great workout for any age, for anybody that wants to go in there and develop arms. And also a key point that he didn't even say he did is that the form and techniques and the way he set up these equipments forces you to connect. Like a straight bar curl, I can go in there with anybody and do a straight bar curl. They may not connect. Everything he put together for today's workout, you can't help but connect to the muscle.
It's important that you connect. You touch on that, like I touched on it briefly during the session. Again, it's important that, again, I'm saying that I want $100 from every single rep that I'm doing. I don't want $90, I don't want $80, or we call it pounds in the UK. I want £100 for every rep that I'm doing. So I want to bank money. Every single rep that I'm doing, I want money in the bank for it. And I want to perform it to the best of my ability. So it's important that the form is correct, and you get that mind and muscle connection to perform the rep to the correct format. And that's all I can say. I want to leave you guys with that information, and I hope that you got something from this video, and you can take it and start utilizing it, because information is powerful, but it's how you use the information is more powerful.
Hopefully everybody will go over there. We're going to give you all the information to get a hold of Wally and talk to him, follow him. And again, we've had a great week together. We're not done.
Not done yet.
We're not done. We got
Not
more
done yet.
coming.
Got more.
He has such a beautiful back there. We're going to pop the top and get some more workouts in. But that's for a later time. But you will see that video, and we will talk about how in his 40s that he's been able to keep a healthy lower back, besides a developed lower back all the way through. And we went, if you guys have not seen the catalog of videos, we've talked about skincare, we've talked about the influence from your sisters.
Yeah.
Man, we got so much information.
So much content to give you guys, but thank you all for listening, and have a wonderful day. God bless you all.